Alright guys, uh, today I just kind of want to talk about some stuff, and I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm pretty sure most, if not all of it, is just going to be me talking about this, and it's going to be rambly, definitely very rambly, but it's just some things that have been on my mind, and I've talked to Lydia about it. And that's pretty much it. So I wanna get it all out there, you know, just because I feel like it's important to me, and I should discuss it. And I don't know if any of this footage is actually gonna go in the vlog, but I'm at least gonna talk to the camera, and then I have it for me, at least. But I'm gonna try my best to put this up, because it's an important part of my life, and that's what the vlogs are. The vlogs are showing who we are, and I want this to be a part of that, because it's a part of who I am. Morning. Alright, so yep, real talk right now. from the tub. Real talk from the tub. I don't know why, I just kinda wanna be here. Maybe it's so that I can call this video Real Talk from the Tub. I don't know. But yeah, there's just some stuff that's been on my mind lately, and I just want to talk about it because, yeah, like I said, I've discussed it with Lydia a lot, so I feel like I want to talk to the camera about it, which is weird because I'm talking to the camera about it before I really talk to anybody else about it, apart from Lydia. So, but I want to get it out there, just kind of what I've been feeling, because I think a big problem is the fact that I haven't been talking about it. So as you all know, which is probably pretty obvious from a lot of the vlogs, I have a lot of trouble sleeping. As to why I have trouble sleeping, there's lots of different things it could be. But yeah, I have a lot of trouble sleeping at night. And because of that, I also have trouble getting up in the morning, or even getting up in the afternoon. Like, there are some days where I won't get out of bed until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And, you know, it's because I didn't go to bed until 8 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, so that's the thing that's kind of been, it's always been a thing for me from as far back as I can remember. I've always had trouble going to sleep at night, but I feel like lately it's been getting worse. And a lot of it it got really worse this summer. I've also been getting stressed out a lot lately, which is weird because, like, I'm not in school right now, and school should be a thing that stresses me out a lot. But I've just been, I don't know, I've just had a really short fuse with stress and getting angry, and just lots of things lately. Like, I've kind of always had those issues, but once again, I just feel like it's been getting worse. Of just like having a temper or being emotional, like mood swings and stuff, and just kind of, I don't know, lots of problems and stuff like that. I've always had problems talking to people, problems just with dealing with certain stuff. For those of you that know my school history, my college history, you know, I'm in college right now. I'm going into my second year of college, like my second year of my program, but it will actually be my 7th or 8th year of being at college. And that's because I've jumped from program to program and, you know, gotten horrible grades. Like, sometimes I got good grades, but I've never really been a good student ever since like ever since forever, but grade 5 I know is when I really kind of started to become a bad student. I was always a really bad student. And I know that bugged my parents a lot. And it sucks because I don't know why I was always such a bad student. Like, I just always had a hard time with schoolwork, and just with doing what I was supposed to do, with completing my stuff, with coming home and doing homework, with you know, doing the right thing. So that's like the school stuff. And then like I've always had trouble. I've had trouble making friends, which everybody goes through. I understand. Like these are all things that, you know, probably a lot of people deal with. I had trouble making friends, and I also had a lot of trouble keeping friends when I do make them. Because I have a tendency to be very blunt and just kind of, you know, talk out of turn and say things that I probably shouldn't, not think before I speak. And in high school, definitely it's something that I've done my best to attempt to phase out of how I am, but definitely like in high school and like the first couple of years after high school, I very much was I was just rude. Like, there's no really other way to put it. I think I was rude and poked fun at people as almost like a defense mechanism to kind of turn it away from myself, because whether consciously or subconsciously, I had a lot of negative feelings about myself. I don't even know if I really knew. Like, I know now that I had negative feelings about myself, but at the time I don't think I knew that. But I would, and this basically is what bullies are all about. But yeah, I would to avoid dealing with my own mistakes and to avoid other people seeing my own mistakes, I would, you know, poke fun at them. I would joke around too much and in very rude ways, and I lost a lot of friends because of that. So that really sucks. And of course at the time I was like, wow, what a bunch of jerks. But like looking back on it after the fact, I'm like, wow, I was such an ass. But yeah, it's just, so lately I've been trying to come to a realization of why am I the way I am? Because there's lots of things, and there's lots of problems that a lot of people deal with. And me, I said, I have a problem. I have a problem talking to people, which is interesting being a daily vlogger. But I have a problem putting my thoughts into words. I also have a problem thinking before I speak, which is, those things almost collide for some reason. But like, I'm very easily short with people, and easy to give up on people too. Like, I'm always so like angry at people that don't trust me, because I'm like, why don't you trust me? Why can't you trust me? I'm like the most trustworthy guy ever. I don't know. I guess I'm a little full of myself, but always thinking like so highly of myself and thinking like, the big thing is trust. But then I'm so damn paranoid that I don't trust anybody else. And it's like, it's never a two-way street with me when it should be. And yeah, I've lost a lot of, I'm sorry if this is really rambling and jumbled all over the place. It's jumbled in my head, trust me. Always had trouble with school. Always had trouble with friends. Trouble with family too, like, in the same respects of my trouble with my friends and stuff, where it's just like, I don't think it's as bad now as it used to be, but definitely growing up and high school and all that stuff, like you can talk about like teen angst and stuff, but I'm pretty sure my family dealing with me, I'm not saying that they didn't like me, but I think they figured, or they thought, or and with good reason, not because it was true, but just because of the way I acted, but they thought that I disliked them. Like everybody's got problems with their family, like that's regular stuff, but I was just unreasonable, and I think a lot of that led to, I don't know, I feel like there are definitely strains that I have on any of my relationships, and like I said, they've definitely improved, but through high school and the first couple of years of college and stuff, I don't think I mentally had a good relationship with a lot of my family. And this is all on my end. I want to be clear that I'm not putting anything on them, because they were all great and I was just a little shit. I'm sorry. Throughout a lot of throughout a lot of high school and college and up to this point, I've always been, and maybe not admit to it, but I've always been kind of a sad person. Like, I like sad things. I would like feeling sad. I felt comfortable being sad. Because I used to think, oh, life is horrible, like typical teenager kind of stuff. It's like, oh, I don't have money, oh, I don't have a girlfriend, oh, I don't have this, oh, I don't have that, oh, my friends are jerks and they don't understand me, oh, my parents are jerks and they don't understand me, like all that kind of crap. But then, like the last 3 years I feel like I've had a big turnaround in my life in terms of realization and stuff, and just like, and a lot of it does have to do with Lydia, just kind of giving me a different perspective on myself, and so I've been able to kind of see myself from a different perspective, because we spend like every day together, and we've spent pretty much every day together for the last 3 years, and like we've been dating for like 2.5 years, but we've spent a lot of time together before that. I don't really have a reason to be sad anymore. And I used to think that I was sad because I had problems. And I have a lot of times where I'm happy, and I have a lot of times where I do feel like really awesome and really great. And like my life right now is like, there's some bad stuff. Not everything's perfect, obviously. But my life is so good right now. Like there's that stereotypical thing of like you don't have anything to complain about. Things are, you got a roof over your head, you got this, you got that. And yeah, things are really great. But I still get sad. And that's where I've kind of realized recently of like, why do I still get sad when before I thought I had a reason to? But now, when I feel like I don't have a reason to, I still get sad. And I get like angry, or there are moods and emotions that I just like snap into for no reason. And growing up and being a teenager and being like going through your first couple of years for me, first like several years of college, I just always kind of assumed that was just the way things were supposed to be. I felt like I had all these problems and so I had a reason to be sad at times, to be angry at times, to feel absolutely terrible at times. And I had a reason to be mad at people. I had a reason to feel all these things that I was feeling. And now I feel like I don't have a reason to feel those ways, but I still feel them. And that's a big thing that I want to figure out, because I feel like there's something wrong with me. Mentally, emotionally, physically, lots of things. It's kind of, there's gonna be a lot of chicken and the egg kind of stuff here. It's like, am I physically unhealthy because I'm mentally unhealthy? Am I mentally unhealthy because I'm physically unhealthy? Emotionally unhealthy and all that stuff? Like, who knows kind of what leads to what, or if it's just a cycle, and I don't know. But it's something I want to address, because I feel like it's never been addressed. And it's not like I've been keeping these thoughts inside. I've only come to this realization like in the last week, really, of like this kind of makes sense, like, of how I feel. I mean, stupidly, like, through college and stuff, and this is definitely obviously something that never came up in the vlogs, but not through college, through high school, and I guess my first couple years of college, I was definitely the kind of person to not really believe in like mental problems. like it's weird to kind of say that, but like I didn't believe in stuff like anxiety and depression and stuff like that. Like, it's very much the kind of person to think, oh, you're just being dramatic, you're just being overly dramatic, take a chill pill, like stuff like that. I was definitely the kind of person to think that. And I've definitely smartened up over the past couple of years. But I think because I felt I had that kind of mindset for a long time, my personal issues never really got addressed. And now I want to address them, because I've come to a realization, and like, I guess gradually over the past couple months, but like kind of full realization, like the clouds part kind of thing, in like the last week, of just like, there is something wrong with me. And I need to talk to someone about it, and not just talk to Lydia, and not just talk to the camera and my family and friends and stuff. I need to like talk to someone about it and figure out what's wrong, because and you know what, if it turns out that I just am being overly dramatic, well then at least I know. But I feel like I still need to address this, because if there's something chemically wrong with me up in here, up in the head brain, if my physical health is leading me to be this way, to think these things, to act this way, then that's another thing that needs to be addressed and can be taken care of. Also, if it's just emotionally or something, and I can talk to a professional person about it and address these issues and fix myself, then that's something that I want to do. Because I'm not saying that people with, and I don't want to say that I have a mental disorder, because I don't want to say that with any diagnosis or anything. But I'm not saying that people with mental disorders are broken. But I feel broken. That's how I feel. I feel broken. I feel like I've always been broken. But I never knew it. I just always thought, well, this is just, how you're supposed to be. This is just how Sean is. Or this is, it's just a phase. It's just a phase you go through as a teenager, That's just the way things are when you're a kid. And then that's just the way things are in your first year of college. And then, I kept being a first year student, so it was like I was always in my first year of college. Oh, that's just the way I am because I don't have someone to share my life with. And I just kind of was always making these excuses, not realizing that there's something, at least in my current opinion, actually wrong with me that can be addressed, and what I think can be, with enough time and pressure, can be fixed. So yeah, sorry, I've just been kind of rambling and jumping all over the place, but the things I've felt, I've always just kind of brushed off as being, that's just how you feel. But I've now come to a realization that the things that I feel are, and this is without like professional diagnosis, so this is just coming from me, the things that I feel are stress, anxiety, depression, and I also have trouble sleeping, and so like insomnia, I guess you could say, and I have weight problems. Whether I want to tack that on there or not, I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself. Me being unhealthy and overweight could be a completely separate issue, but it could also be connected. And that's another big thing of just excuses. I'm not trying to make excuses for the way I've acted in the past, the way I've felt in the past, and the way I've dealt with certain situations, and just a lot of things. I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's not my fault that I was an asshole to everybody in high school. It's not my fault that I was a jerk to my family for a long time, and I guess sometimes I probably still am. It's not my fault that I have a short temper sometimes and can get angry over nothing. It's not my fault that I, have trouble concentrating and doing well in school. It's not my fault because there's something wrong with me. There's something chemically wrong with me. There's something emotionally wrong with me or physically wrong with me that makes it impossible for me to be able to do these things. I'm not trying to make those excuses. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse to forgive myself. Which I think, going through high school, I definitely thought that that's what a lot of that stuff was, which is stupid. I used to think that claiming or admitting or stuff like that, like this is high school me talking, so I apologize for the brashness of what I'm going to say. Saying like I have this problem with me, that was just an excuse. That was being weak. That was not trying hard enough to just do better, suck it up, buttercup, and stuff like that. I was such an ass. And because of that, I feel like I've gone through so much of my life wrong. And that's what it is. I feel like there's a lot of stuff wrong with me that I've been ignoring. Or I've been trying to deal with on my own. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what I've always thought. If you have problems, I was always the guy in high school. If you have problems, come talk to me. You got to talk to somebody about your problems. Come talk to me. I will help. I was always ready to give advice. Probably too much advice, probably wrong advice, especially about stuff that I didn't know anything about. But I was always that person who you could talk to. And I would get mad if people didn't talk to me about it. But I wouldn't talk about my stuff. And I haven't. I've never, even to myself, really. I've always just kind of tried to solve myself by myself. Because I've always known that my habits, my moods, my mannerisms, there's a lot of stuff about me. I that doesn't always shine through, thankfully. But I've always known a lot of that stuff there was something wrong with it. It wasn't the right way to be. But I was always just like, okay, I'll try and do better. I'll try and do better next time. I'll try and not be an asshole next time I talk to that person. I'll try and not, walk away from that conversation because I'm upset. I'll try, I'll do my homework this time. I'll keep an agenda this year. I won't say those things. I won't do those things. I'll be better. And then that was it. And I kept making mistakes, and that's what I do. I keep making mistakes. So I'm finally addressing that there is something wrong with me. That this is not how I'm supposed to act. This is not how I'm supposed to feel. And don't get me wrong, I don't feel like this all the time, trust me. I feel good a lot of the time. And a lot of it kind of came out this summer, and I don't know if it was, once again, chicken or the egg kind of thing. I don't know if Taco Bell really, it makes Taco Bell sound really bad. I'm not trying to do that, but I don't know if my job at Taco Bell led to me being like stressed out and led to me feeling worse and my sleep getting worse and like all this stuff kind of bubbling up to the surface more, or possibly me being already having like stress and anxiety and depression and all these kinds of things that I say I have. No, I haven't professionally had said about me, but that maybe all my feelings like that led to me having problems with working there. It's like, who knows? I'm assuming it's the second one. I'd like to think so. Love you, Taco Bell. Sorry I couldn't work there, but I wasn't mentally right to work with people in that environment. But yeah, I just need to fix myself, but not by myself. And then this is a really weird thing for me to talk about, because it's like I'm talking to myself, because I know I'm going to be editing this later, and I'm going to try my best to not take anything out except for like big pauses and stuff. But I'm gonna upload this. This is gonna be the vlog, because this is my day today, and this is my day every day. I guess that's not really true, because I have good days. I have a lot of good days. Trust me. But this a lot of the time is what keeps me up at night and why I don't sleep well. I have so many good things going on in my life. I have so many good days. I don't want this to come across as like things are really crappy for me, because they're not. Things aren't crappy for me, and that's the point of everything I'm trying to say, is that things aren't crappy with me, but I still feel like things are. And because they're not, it's this dissonance, and it's this realization of, things aren't crappy with you, Sean. Why are you still a crappy person? Or why do you feel so crappy? Or why do you like you act like things are bad? Like, and that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to address. Because things aren't bad. Things aren't bad at all, unless I make them bad. Because that's another big problem with the fact that the things that are wrong with me affects the people around me. My emotions, my anger, my irritability, my depression or sadness, I'll call it sadness, affects the people around me. And I used to think it was the other way around. I used to think that the people around me and the things around me, the situations around me, are what made me feel those things. But I now realize it's the other way around, and I'm not a nice person to be around when I'm feeling certain ways that I feel, when I'm acting certain ways that I act. I don't think I'm a good person, and I don't like that. That's horrible. Like, you shouldn't think you're a bad person. That's ridiculous. So it's that's what it's all about. I need to see why I feel crappy all the time. Not all the time, but I feel crappy a lot. It seemed like all the time recently. I've just kind of been thinking a lot about it. So, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, and it sucks because I'm actually considering waiting till school starts back up, which is in 6 weeks. But I want to talk to somebody about it. I want to address these things. And I don't quite know how to go about that. If I go to like a doctor, like a doctor, or if I, doctor, if I go talk to like a what? Psychologist? Psychiatrist? A psychic? I don't, that's the thing. Do I go to like a medical doctor, or do I go to like a psychologist? And I don't know. And the thing is, I don't have a family doctor. Like I have a family doctor, but he's not my doctor. So I don't know what to do. And I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not like asking you to figure it out for me. I'm trying to figure out what to do about this. And I'm going to. But that's the thing. I think I might wait until school starts back up, because going to like, the walk-in clinic about something like this, I feel like maybe isn't the right thing to do. I don't know. But also, and this is from my knowledge, which isn't all that great, I feel like also going and talking to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or someone would cost a lot of money. I don't know if that's true or not, but I that's what I think. So I really need to look into it, and trust me, I'm going to look into it a lot more. The thing is that when I'm in school, I can talk to a counselor, and that's covered. And I feel like me going and talking to somebody and paying a lot of money for it when I don't have a lot of money would make things worse. It would make things better because I was talking to somebody, but the money thing would it's a big factor in my life. Like I don't want to talk about that, but yeah. So I'm gonna talk to somebody about it eventually, and I just need to get better, and I'm going to. And I'm sorry if this video is probably really long. It's probably like half an hour if I left it all in. Which I'm gonna try my best to. I'm gonna leave it all in. I'm gonna cut out the big pauses or when I have to repeat something. But yeah, I'm putting all this in. And yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on in my brain a lot. And I want to be more honest about that. I don't want every single day to be like this, where I'm talking for half an hour or more about feeling crappy. But I want to be upfront and honest, because I feel like that's the problem. Why this is such a problem is because I don't address it enough. And so I just want to, like some days I'm just going to say, hey guys, this is a day where I'm feeling irritable, or this is a day where I'm feeling really sad, but I'm going to try and make the best of it, So yeah, we'll see what I'm going to do about this, and you're going to be along for the ride. And the best thing right now is that I have Lydia. It gives me so much support, and that helps a lot. That helps me be able to address this stuff and see that there's something wrong with me. It helps me be able to admit that I have problems. And this was something I meant to address earlier, but because I was so rambling, I just kind of jumped over it. But yeah, because Lydia is so close to me in my life, I realize more the effect that I have on people around me. Like just kind of the everyday thing of how I act around people. Because when when you're only hanging out with certain people, or you only see people an hour a day, or a couple hours a week or something like that, it's hard to really see the effect that you have on them and the effect that they have on you. And being with Lydia has helped me realize that I have a negative effect on the people around me, and I used to always think that just people would have a negative effect on me when I would see them for, a little tiny bit. And so it helped me come to this realization. And she's been really supportive, and whenever I tell other people in my life, I think they'll be supportive too. I know they will be. The people that matter, So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Sorry for rambling, and if you watched this whole thing, thank you very, very much for listening to my story, for listening to what's going on in my head. Anyways, I'm gonna try to have a better day now. It's needed to get that all out there. I feel a lot better getting it all out there. So yeah, we'll see how this journey goes. And thank you guys for being there with me. All right. Good night. I filmed for so damn long, my feet are asleep, and the camera is so hot. Because it's just been running constantly. Poor camera. Poor feet. Ah.